Am I audible? Hello? Okay, you are done with your project. Very good. So internal Viva is over or it is yet to be conducted? Internal Viva. Hello? Yes. Can you see my screen? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now today we will be discussing about. Now suppose from the examination point of view, if you are asked from where can Indian company arrange for money if they would like to set up their business at international level, so what are the sources where they can seek funds to start their international company? Okay, so if this kind of question asked to you, you can answer this particular question stating if Indian company, if they would like to start their business within India, so within India, these are the main sources: short-term funds and long-term funds. Short-term funds like money market, because money market which caters short-term requirement, and capital market which caters long-term requirement. So long-term funds which are available in capital market. And if company requires, say for example, short-term funds, can you give me some example? What do you mean by short-term funds? Where short-term funds are required for a company? Anybody? Can you share me some example of short-term funds? Short-term capital required. Hello? Can everyone able to see this slide? Hello, everyone. So, can you share me short-term fund example? The name itself indicates short-term, maybe for 3 months, 4 months, but it means less than 1 year. That is called short-term funds. And long-term funds, which is more than a year, generally 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years. So that is long-term funds. So long-term funds are tapped from capital market, and short-term funds, if you're starting company within India, money market. So any example where short-term funds are required? No idea? Do you have idea or no idea? Hello. Unmute yourself and or you can use chat box also. If anyone knows answer, they can type in the chat box or unmute yourself and share your answer. Yes. No idea. Okay. Now see the example of short-term funds. You might have heard this. I am typing in a chat box. What it is? What message I have typed in the chat box?
The working capital.
Yes, working capital. So working capital is the example of short-term funds, and this working capital can be tapped from the money market. Okay, this money market, which is controlled by the Reserve Bank of India, and whereas when company needs long-term funds, the examples are building or purchase of land, purchase of equipment. So purchase of equipment or construction of building requires a huge amount of funds. Am I correct? Construction of building requires huge amount of fund. So in that case, this is known as long-term funds. So maybe 60 crore, 100 crore. So this kind of requirement, which is being tapped through capital market, and capital market, which is controlled by SEBI. You might have heard this word SEBI. Have you heard this word SEBI? Have you heard this word?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now, if a company would like to start their business outside India, in the rest of the world, maybe in Japan or America, Germany, anywhere. Basically, company not in India but outside India. So, such company, their sources are ADR, that is American Depository Receipts, then GDR, Global Depository Receipts, ECB, and FCCB. Now, what is ECB, FCCB, what is GDR, ADR? That we will be discussing in detail after this slide. But remember, if you are starting company in India, these are the sources. If you are starting company outside India, these are the sources. Getting this? Shall I go to the next slide?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is who can borrow. Maybe somebody might be having a doubt in their mind that who can borrow from this ADR and GDR. So basically, hotel industry, infrastructure industries, IT, information technology, hospital sector. But company must have registered itself under Companies Act 2013. Companies Act 2013. So this is the basic requirement. Those who are registered under Companies Act 2013, they can borrow these funds. Okay. Now, microfinance institutions, MFI in short, microfinance institution can borrow via ECB. Now, those who are having status of microfinance institution, they can borrow funds through ECB. Then NGO, NBFC. May I know what do you mean by NGO, NBFC? I think these are the general words, right? In these days, even a layman knows the meaning of NGO, long form of NGO. Do you know the long form of NGO?
Non-government organization.
Yes, non-government organizations. and NBFC, that is non-banking financial corporation, NBFC. Now this ECB, it is new for you because it belongs to the international finance. That I will not trouble you asking this. I'm just asking you general question about NGO, NBFC. So they seek funds through ECB, via ECB, if they are involved in microfinance activity. Okay. And then SEZ unit. What do you mean by SEZ? What is SEZ? What is SEZ? Yes, please. Do you have idea or no idea of SEZ? If no idea, please answer me that we do not have idea. So our time will not be wasted. Yes, friend?
No idea.
No idea. Okay. Now SEZ, it is special economic zone. It is special economic zone. SEZ stand for special economic zone. Now, this special economic zone we also have in India at different cities. Basically, these SEZ units are created where there are no industries, where there are no manufacturing units, and that on that barrel land, government gives license, gives permission to start unit, so that the people who are residing in that particular city, they get employment opportunity, and because of this employment opportunity, their standard of living increases, their per capita income increases. So basically, these are the objectives of government, why these SEZ units are being opened. Along with this SEZ, there are MIDC units, MIDC area. That you might have heard this word, MIDC. Have you heard this word, MIDC? Have you heard this word, MIDC? Hello, am I audible? Hello? 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 Am I audible, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, have you heard this word, MIDC?
Yes, sir.
Fine, that you have heard. So, I will not explain that much. So, SEZ, I told about the SEZ now. Let me go to the next slide. Now, here in this slide, we have discussed that who can borrow, who are eligible for this loan. So, now, companies who are having business at international level, as I told in the first slide, that is EDR. Do you remember? Outside India, EDR, GDR, ECB, and FCA. So this one by one we will be discussing. Are you getting link? Are you getting link?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, American Depository Receipts, ADR. This is from American point of view. It allows a foreign company, that is Indian, to raise money from American financial market. Like we have in India, our capital market, which is controlled by SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India. Similarly, in America, if Indian company would like to start a business and they want money, so such company can raise their money through this American financial market. Second line, suppose Indian company wants to raise money from America by issuing shares in American stock exchange. Now in India, we have our stock exchange, which is known as BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange. Have you heard this BSE?
Yes, sir.
So similarly, at America also, there is an American stock exchange. Through American stock exchange, Indian company can raise money. That is the meaning of second line. Third line, but then Indian company will have to maintain accounts according to American standard. Though it is Indian company, but since they are opening their business in America. So needless to say, they have to follow American standards. American standards means accounting standards. Okay, not living standard. Accounting standard. So whatever accounting standards America has, Indian company should follow that. So this is the condition. And if they are following American standards, then and then only they can go for ADR. Next point, to prevent this problem, Indian company gives its share to American bank. So in order to raise funds, what Indian company does, it gives its share to American bank. Get it? Getting this line? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Then next point, American bank. Now here we are learned earlier line that Indian company gives its share to American bank. Now next step, American bank gives that Indian company receipts. That receipts called as a ADR. So here American bank will give a particular receipt. That particular receipt is called as a ADR. Return of these shares. Then Indian company can trade those ADR receipts in American stock market to raise money. So such receipts are being distributed to the investors, and then it is nothing but called as a ADR. Now in India we call it as a share. You might have heard this word share. I have heard this word share. Reliance share, State Bank share.
Yes, sir.
So similarly, this particular bank issues receipts. That receipt is being issued by company to the investor, and that receipt is known as ADR. But then Indian company will have to pay dividends to those investors in dollar currency. So investors, those who have purchased ADR of Indian company, so whenever time comes to pay dividend, that dividend should be paid in dollar, because where they have opened their business, in which country they have opened business. In my example, which is the location? Indian company have opened their business in which location? At which location? Hello? Indian company, in my example, where they have opened their business, at which location? Hello? Hello? Hello, everyone. So, at which location Indian company have opened their business? Which location? Am I audible? You are not answering me. See, the location is America. Indian company has opened their business in America. So without, needless to say, America's currency is dollar. So dividend has to be paid in dollar. Followed? Followed?
Yes.
Dividend has to be paid in dollar. Okay. So any doubt in this first slide of ADR? Any doubt? Any doubt? Please try to understand. If you are not getting, please ask me, because this is very, very important from the examination point of view. These questions are asked in examination. Let me put second slide. Now, this is another American depository receipt idea. Now, this is Indian depository receipts idea. Now, what is this idea? From India's point of view, it allows a foreign company. Now, this is vice versa. Just now we learn ADR. ADR, Indian company when Indian company starts business in America. Okay, are you getting me? Are you getting me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you clear? Okay. Now, when outside company, means American company or British company, when they would like to have business in India, that time they uses IDR, Indian Depository Receipts. So this is the difference between IDR and ADR. In ADR, Indian company wanting to start business in America, and they through bank they issue ADR. Vice versa, when American company wanting to start business in India, and if they want money for business, so such money can be raised through IDR, Indian Depository Receipts, and it is being raised through Indian financial market. And Indian financial market, it is nothing but the capital market. It is capital market, which is controlled by SEBI. Clear? May I go to the next
Yes, sir.
slide? Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
okay, fine. Now, this is another one, GDR. ADR we have learned. What is ADR? Now, we are talking about GDR. GDR stand for Global Depository Receipts. GDR. GDR, which enable a company, the issuer, to access investors in capital market outside of its home country. Outside of home country, not within your country. It is outside the home country, and many countries they can access. Now, suppose if an American company wants to have fund, and if a guy from Germany, he is interested to invest in this American company. So a person from Germany can approach or can have investment in this American company through GDR. Or a person from Brazil who is interested to invest in this American company. So even Brazil person can invest in the form of GDR. So here, the issuer to access investors in capital market outside of its home country. It is listed and traded in the stock exchange. So now suppose if American company is there and they are collecting funds across the globe, but there this GDR will be traded in American stock exchange because company belongs to America. Since company belongs to America, that is why their stock exchange will be from America. Though they are getting from funds from Brazil or Russia or maybe from Germany, but the stock exchange would be America. Third point, if, for example, an Indian company which has issued ADRs in the American market and wishes to further extend it to other developed country and advanced countries such as Europe, then they can sell this ADR to the public of Europe, and the same would be named as GDR. Now see, even the ADR we can convert into GDR. That is the meaning of this third line. I repeat, if, for example, an Indian company which has issued ADR in the American market and wishes to further extend it to other developed countries such as Europe, then they can sell this ADR to the public of Europe, and the same would be named as GDR. Now today we will just understand the meaning of ADR and GDR, and maybe in next section we will have a comparison of this. Everything I will not just push you in a single session. Maybe in next session we will have a comparison. But right now you just understand the meaning of ADR, IDR, and GDR. Okay, any doubts so far? Any doubts so far? Yes, please. IDR, ADR, and GDR.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, yes, please.
So how can we explain or elaborate in short what is ADR, IDR, GDR, and short in simple terms?
In simple terms, IDR, which is Indian Depository Receipt. A foreign company who wants to start their business in India. Company is foreign company, but they want to start business in Mumbai or Pune. So they go for IDR, Indian Depository Receipt. Clear? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now ADR, American Depository Receipt. Now, Indian entrepreneur wants to start business in America, and to start a business in America, he wants money. And where he wants to start business? In which country? Indian person? Answer me. Where he wish to start business? Which location? America. Are you listening me?
Yes, sir.
So Indian entrepreneur wanting to start business in America and he needs fund. So whenever he gets fund from an investor, he is being issued ADR from the bank. It is known as American Depository Receipt. That investor is being issued ADR. And GDR is what? GDR, it is being given through stock exchange. ADR, it is given through bank. ADR, American Depository Receipt, it is given through bank. And GDR, it is given through stock exchange. So this simple way I try to explain. Have you understood?
Yes,
IDR,
sir.
ADR, and GDR. So shall I go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
So far, how many sources of meaning we have understood so far? Number, how many number? How many sources? IDR, ADR, GDR. So total how many sources so far we have discussed?
So 3 sources.
Huh?
3 sources.
3 sources. Now, this is the 4th source, which is short form is FCCB. Now, please try to understand FCCB, which is stand for Foreign Currency Convertible Bonds. The short form is FCCB. This is also being widely used at an international level. Foreign Currency Convertible Bond. The bond which are convertible. We can convert. That is convertible. Now, FCCB means a convertible bond issued by an Indian company. Who issues this convertible bond? Please try to understand. I will go very slowly. Who issued this FCCB? Which company issued? Look at my cursor. Which company?
Indian company.
Indian company. So FCCB means a convertible bond issued by an Indian company, expressed in foreign currency. So Indian company is issuing, but it is issuing in foreign currency. Now suppose if it is in Japan, so it would be in yen. If it is in America, then it would be in dollar. If it is in Britain, then it will be in pound. So foreign currency, their currency means foreign currency means their currency, and the principal and interest in respect of which is payable in foreign currency. Because you are starting business in, suppose, in America. So in America, the principal amount and interest amount will be paid in dollar. That is the meaning. इतना समझ लगा? Have you understood till this 3rd line?
Yes, sir.
So that is the payment of principal and interest is usually in the currency in which the money is raised. So the money in which you have raised, if you have raised money through dollar, so the interest and principal amount will be paid in dollar. If you have raised money in the form of yen, then principal amount and interest amount will be paid in yen. If money raised through euro, then principal and interest will be paid in which currency? Can you answer me?
Euro.
Euro, correct. Now you are getting it. Now next slide. The option of convertible bonds into equity at a price determined at the time of bond issued. Now here there is an option given to the investor. Now if they would like to continue with the company, then they can exercise that option. Vice versa. If investor do not want to continue with company, they can withdraw their interest and principal amount, and then account will be settled. Now here there is an option given by company through FCCB that in case if you are interested, then your bond will be converted into equity share. That is why it is known as FCCB, foreign currency convertible bond. This bond we can convert into the equity, subject to the choice of investor. I hope you are following what I am sharing with you.
Yes.
Now, the next feature, it also has the benefit of debt instrument as it includes guaranteed return or yields which are payable in foreign currency. Now, see, when we purchase share of a company, so there is no guaranteed income associated with the share. It is a risky investment. Sometimes you are benefited, sometimes you lose your money. But in FCCB, it is a debt instrument where there is a guaranteed income in the form of interest and principal. So rate is decided at the time of issuing FCCB. So that is the meaning of this second feature. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Third is FCCB have maturity period of about 5 years. So this is the time period. This is 5 years, but some companies they can go for even 2 years, 3 years, but it is about 5 years. It's a maximum. It is 5 years. Since it is a debt instrument, so 5 years. Now after 5 years, if investor would like to convert into the share, it's okay. If you do not want to convert to share, then he can withdraw money from the company and the account will be settled. Last line, currently Indian companies can raise up to $50 million in a particular financial year through issue of such bond via automatic route. It means, in short, I would like to say that maximum you can raise up to $50 million in one financial year. Now suppose if you require further amount and if you have reached to 50 million of rupees, then in next financial year again you can raise money. That is the meaning. So this was about foreign currency convertible bond. So far I shared with the meaning of ADR, IDR, GDR and FCCB, foreign currency convertible bonds, FCCB. So FCCB, again I repeat in a simple term, it is for the period of 5 years and it is also called as a debt instrument. In FCCB, investor get principal and interest amount at the time of maturity, and investor has option to convert this bond into equity, and if they do not exercise this option, then it will not be converted into the equity. Your bond money will be returned back to the investor. समझ लगा? Yes. Any question? Any question, please? काही डाऊट आहे का?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, recent trends in international finance. This ADR and GDR, it is not a new thing in the international finance. A long back, these sources have been used at the international level. Now, let us talk about the recent trends. What is happening recently in international finance? Now, this is about deregulation of financial market. Now, what is this deregulation of financial market? Financial deregulation can be referred to a variety of changes in the law which allow financial institutions more freedom in how they compete. Now, as we know that when you start your business at international level, there is a huge competition. There are several companies who are selling same product which your company is selling. So here they get a complete freedom in order to face this competition. Because what happens if you are putting so much restriction to international company, because of this is restriction, company may not be able to have their sale in that particular country and maybe outside that country. So to allow them in a free manner, so this is the recent trend which is being given to the company. So what is the recent trend? As per the law, they are given more freedom to face the competition. That is why this deregulation is very important. If you are regulating, then it becomes difficult. So there should not be a regulation. Regulation is there just to start a company, but once a company started, then such company should be given some deregulation. So they are detached from the regulation. They are just like a free bird. Initially the bird is controlled, but later on, once it is flying in the sky, then the bird should not be controlled. Let them fly. Similarly, company also, while starting company in America or Germany, regular rules and regulations are there. Once company established, now in order to face competition, they are given freedom. So this is now happening at the international level. Followed this first line.
Yes, sir.
Now, second one, it helps in creation and expansion of worldwide banking structure. Now, you might be thinking that why this kind of say deregulation? So basically, this deregulation helps in creation and expansion. Sometimes company go for expansion, sometimes they go for innovation or expansion. So for that purpose, this deregulation is required. Third line, by increasing competition, it increases not only, but it also increases the efficiency of business because of competition, because you want to remain in a competition. So the company should have current updates that what is happening at a world level, because you are into international business. In order to sustain in international business, you need to have update knowledge about the product and liking of customer and everything. So in order to that, this is also one of the feature of deregulation of market. Then now let us have some criticism, that is critical thought. Let us understand what it is now. But there were criticism also for this excessive deregulation, because now at an international level, as I told you in the first slide, that they are given full freedom in order to have a competition. In first line we all learned that is more freedom. More freedom is full freedom is given. But because of this freedom, what happens? Sometimes, suppose now if boy is given full freedom from the parent, then what happens? The boy becomes pampered. ते लाडावतं ते खूप लाड करतात ते. जर त्या मुलाला खूप फ्रीडम दिलं एखाद्या मुलाला तर काय होतं ते खूप लाडा होतं ते, बरोबर की नाही? असं म्हणतो ना आपण, एखाद्याला खूप फ्रीडम जर दिला आई वडिलांनी तर ते वाया जातात असं म्हणतात. सगळेच मुलं वाया जातात असं मला म्हणायचं नाही, बट फ्यू बॉयज they become pampered. Some boys, they remain on the ground. Are you getting my example? Hello? समजता का मी काय बोलतोय?
Yes.
Now, similarly, because of this deregulation, because freedom is given, so what could be the adverse impact because of this deregulation that we are discussing in this slide? So please try to understand. Because of this deregulation, what happened then? And according to the UN report, now there was a survey conducted by United Nations. So UN report, a sustained process of deregulation within countries and between countries can lead to global crisis. So this is the observation of UN report, United Nations report, that global crisis may happen. And if global crisis happens, then it is not good from the business point of view. Your whatever business you are doing at a international level, your product should not lead to the global crisis. If it is leading to the global crisis, then ultimately the company's name, ultimately the company name and brand gets spoiled. It gets spoiled. Company name and brand gets spoiled. So too much freedom, if it is given and if there is a deregulation, so that leads to the global crisis. So there was a suggestion. Now, what is the suggestion? Suggestion is those financial instruments which do not contribute to long-term economic growth should be removed, and speculative and risky activities should be encouraged. So this was the suggestion. Please try to understand what is the suggestion. What now company should follow? Company should follow that financial instrument which do not contribute to long-term economic growth should be removed simply. The instrument which is not contributing for the economic growth of a nation. Now, what is economic growth of a nation? Anybody will tell me the example? What do you mean by economic growth of a nation? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So what is economic growth of a nation? Economic growth of a nation, like say employment opportunities. This could be an example. If company is there, then what happens? Employment opportunities comes to that country. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
A local people gets employment, and if they get employment, what happen? The individual income increases or decreases if they are getting income. If they are getting income from company,
Increases.
so it increases. So that is the example of economic growth. Now, such economic growth, if it is not contributed by this financial instrument, means even after having this financial instrument, there are no employment opportunities by the company. Then what should have been done? That instrument should be removed simply. कारण ते तुमचं काही ते असं काही ग्रोथ करत नाही, कुठे काही एम्प्लॉयमेंट ऑपॉर्च्युनिटीज नाहीत, देशाला फायदा नाही. सो इन अ सिंपल वे दॅट कंट्री should not allow that financial instrument. काही उपयोगाचं नाही त्या देशासाठी. So then why should give them this kind of say concession? So this was the suggestion. आणि मग instead of that, they have suggestion that if financial instrument is removed, then there has to be something. So what should be something? Speculative and risky activities should be encouraged, because there is no use for economic growth. So such country should allow speculative and risky activities should be encouraged. So speculation start place. That is the meaning. Speculation and risky activities take place. Now, try to understand it. Can you see this slide?
Yes, sir.
Now, generally, when funds are required, when there is a merger and acquisition at an international level, two company gets merged. So that time, there is a requirement of foreign currency and huge funds are required. Now, for example, merger. As we know that it refers to the legal consolidation of two companies into one entity, that we know the meaning. But again, I am sharing what is merger. Merger, it is a legal consolidation of two companies into one. Means two companies, they come together and they form one company. Acquisition means it occurs when one company takes over another and completely establish itself as a new owner. That is acquisition. So this is the basic difference between merger and acquisition. So in merger also, company requires fund. In acquisition also, company requires funds. Now, cross border at an international level, that is a cross border. This is not happening in India. This M&A activity, merger and acquisition activity is happening outside India, outside border of India. So in that case, here I would like to share some example. In 2007, when the economic conditions were good, there was an increase of about 27%. This has happened because the economic growth, it was about 27%. But in 2008, it slowed down because of financial crisis. Now, within a year, then what happened? There was a subprime crisis. I have heard this word, subprime. I have heard this word, subprime. We type this. I have typed in the chat box, subprime crisis. Have you heard this word, subprime crisis? It happened in 2008. Hello, everyone. Have you heard or not? Subprime crisis which happened in 2008, and because of this, the world, most of the stock exchanges, Sensex collapsed in 2008. If you search in a Google, maybe after lecture, just type subprime crisis. You will come to know the details of this. I will share with you in a short way. Basically, it happened in America, and it was associated with the real estate, like say residential flat or commercial shops. So that is real estate. It is known as subprime. All of a sudden, the prices of real estate slashed in America, and there were no customers to buy real estate. That happened in 2008 in America, but not in India. We were not affected. Are you getting my example? Hello, students. Are you getting my example? But till 2014, it has increased to double. So in 2014, the situation was different. Now, let me share with you the next. Rising popularity of Euro market. Now, at international level, why Euro market became popular? Why people like to have Euro market? There is a popularity. Why? Now, Euro market, it is a kind of market which is virtually free from regulation, which provides excellent opportunities for investment, funding, and speculation. So this is one feature which was free from regulation. So there were not much restrictions, and that is why Euro market became popular. Also provide risk management product. So this was the necessary risk factor was considered, that risk management product also provide risk management product. So people were safe to invest in this euro market. Then emergence of MNC from emerging economies, multinational companies from emerging economies. So I am putting some live example here. The last 2 decades have seen the emergence of large number of multinational companies from emerging economies. Means multinational companies, they are having tie-up maybe in automobile sector or maybe in pharmaceutical, maybe in real estate. About 22 MNCs from top 100 infrastructure MNCs having headquarter in developing economies, maybe in Europe country, America, and even in developing economies like say China and India. China and India, they belong to the developing economies. So these MNCs who are from Europe and America have opened their MNCs in developing economies, like particularly China and India. Now, example is Tata. In 2008, Tata, Jaguar, there is a collaboration, merger. Jaguar, have you heard this word, Jaguar? Hello, Jaguar.
Yes, sir.
So Tata and Jaguar. May I go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Now, integration of market globally. What is the integration of this market at a globally? Through this integration, domestic investors can buy foreign assets and foreign investors can buy domestic assets. So this was integration. So foreign asset, domestic investors, suppose if I am from India, so as an Indian, I can buy American asset, okay, and vice versa. American guy can buy Indian asset, okay. So there is integration. So this gives the investor the freedom and opportunity to raise funds and to invest anywhere in the world through any type of instrument. Because of this integration, the market, global market became local market. Global market became local market. Earlier, global market was at a global level, but now global market became local market. Sitting in Pune, sitting in India, you can have a transaction. So that is why I am using this word. Global market became local market. Are you getting my statement meaning? Are you following my statement meaning? Global market became local market. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Then third line, integration has led to redistribution of financial resources from the surplus to deficit countries. So here what is happening? Suppose now if Japanese people are having a huge amount of their savings, surplus money they are having. Now, if they are attracted to India, now Indian company are attracting investors from world, and there are opportunities with Indian company, and Japanese people are having surplus money. So what they will do? Indian company is in need of money. Are you getting my example? Indian company is in need of money. Japanese people are having surplus. So what will happen here? Japanese people, since they are having surplus, they will invest in Indian company. Since Indian companies, Indian financial position is in deficit, their company wants money. So country who is having deficit, they are pulling money, those who are having surplus. So this way, this is known as integration of market globally. So this was about from where can Indian company arrange for money. So before we close today's session, if you have any doubt, you are free to ask. Otherwise, we will end the session, and then rest of the instruments we will continue in the next session. If any doubt, please ask. As I told, there will be descriptive question asked on this topic, particularly this. So please do remember. Yes, friends, any doubt? No. Okay, then shall we close the session? Thank you all. Thank you, everyone.